Hello and welcome to Heavy Metal WRX. My name is Oasis, and today we're going to be looking at the new update that came out for the 2022 WRX and its infotainment system. This update actually does apply to both the base model and the premium model, and it changes some things that I have made some complaints about in the past. Unfortunately, it's like 90 degrees outside, so some of the changes don't affect me today, but I know I'll have this car down when it's a little bit colder in the winter, and this is where this stuff is going to go. So what I'm going to do in this video is kind of break down exactly the changes that have happened, but also show you guys how to do the update. Now, of course, you do all this stuff. The disclaimer is you do it at your own risk. I don't think anything's really going to happen, and most people have already done the update, and people who have done the update have taken it to the dealership, have done it. But if you want to do it at home, let me show you how you can do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by first going and checking out the Reddit post that I found, and thank you to IR22WRX for posting this. Basically, it has everything that you need here. It has an instruction guide that you can use, which is in PDF format, and it also has the link to the Google Drive that has the file that you're looking for, and we'll pop that open. And you can see it's about a 3.5 gig file, which you're going to need to download. It is zipped. Now, once you do have this downloaded, and of course I've got all this stuff already done, I just wanted to show you, you do want to extract it, and you'll see there will be one folder that gets extracted from that zip drive. And within that folder, there's actually 3 other folders and a file. Now, this is the data that you need. You need to put this on a USB. Basically, all this, here, actually, I can even tell you how much this is unzipped. This is about 12.8 gigs. So at the bare minimum, you need a 16 gigabyte USB drive. So now once you have it, obviously it does need to be formatted into NTFS. So if you don't know how to do that, plug in your USB drive into your computer. You can right click, in this case, this is my storage one, right click format, select NTFS, quick format, start, call it whatever you want. This, easy peasy. Once that's done, you're going to copy and paste those folders in that file onto your USB. It can take a little bit of time because it is one of the folders does have thousands of files in it. Once that's done, there are instructions. Like I said, let me pull that back up, and we'll look at this PDF real quick. And the important things here to note are how to actually get to the menu that you need to be able to perform this update. And this is down here. This area right here, which once we get to the car, I will go over these steps one by one so you guys can follow along and be able to do this update. So I've got everything I need, so now I'm going to switch back to the garage. Now that we're in the car, what you're going to notice is the thing that's changing that I know of for sure, especially on a manual car, is this air conditioning area right here. As of right now, you know, one of the complaints I've had is in order to be able to change the heated seat, I first have to click this button. Well, click a button as in, like, you know, touch this portion of the screen, and then select this right here. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Of course, right now it's summer, it's 90 degrees outside, so it doesn't really matter, but this is still an update that needs to happen. So what it's changing is it's changing the way the buttons look down here, and now you're actually able to just touch one time to adjust the heated seat, which I think is pretty cool. Now, how to do that? There are a couple of things that the guide recommends to do. Number one is actually turning off the software updates, or so like over-the-air stuff doesn't happen, because I am connected to the Wi-Fi. Not that it would. So basically, you're going to click on Settings. You go down to or over to Software Update under General, Software Update, and then here automatically check for updates. Go ahead and turn that off. So that's off. Close that out. Now, in order to get to the menu that you need to get to update, you actually need to hold, I don't know if you can hold these two, but I know, at least in the picture, it shows to hold both the up and down on the climate, and then push this in 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that takes us to the dealership mode. Now here you're going to select Software Update. Right now my USB is not plugged in. Now it's asking for that USB. I've got it right here, and I'm going to plug it. Right now I have nothing plugged into the car, so I'm just going to plug in my USB into the first USB slot. And it should select it. There it goes, lit up, and so there we go. So now it's saying to me, like, hey, you know, software update has been detected. Press OK to software update. From here on, I should just hit OK. And I think it's going to check the. So there is a table in the PDF that shows you what the current available version is and what based off what is. So this is actually what mine is, the F21S MM121 980, which is the current one on the mid model, which is premium in this case. And to make sure that it is the right one on here, F21S MM142-180. So I will go and see what the one that is available, available version. And so yeah, I can confirm that that is the one that is available. And that's basically it's just good to just check. It's not a big deal. But it's always good to measure once. Actually, well, no, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. So now that I've got this here, I'm just going to hit OK. Now remember, don't take the USB out. I feel like that part is not even something I should have to tell you. Don't do it. It's bad. And from here, I'm just going to let it do its install. All right, so that's done, and I've actually been recording this entire time, as you saw, and that took 38. That took 38 minutes and 45 seconds. That's actually quite lengthy. I wasn't expecting it to go that far, but now it says to just restart the vehicle. So we'll hit OK on there. We'll turn the car off. Take out my USB. Yeah, wait maybe like a minute or two, and let's start the car. Well, I'm not going to start the car. I'm just going to put it into accessory mode. Make sure everything comes up okay. Looks to be good. And there we go. New settings. That's pretty cool. Make sure all my stuff is where I left it. No weather date available. Whatever. I don't care about that. This is the part that is what everybody wanted. So first, before we continue, let me go ahead and turn my automatic updates back on. Not that I've ever gotten a single update from these guys. And what I'd like to do is, let me zoom in a little bit on the new features. Look at that. That's actually really awesome. I'm glad that this was a very simple install. I will say, if you follow these basic steps, you should be able to do this at home. It's very simple. As you can see now, it is actually one touch. That, you know, it seems such a simple thing, but when you're driving, that's kind of a big deal. Now, I do know that the automatic people do get the auto start stop as a touch button as well, which is cool for them. But now we have that. You know, that is pretty cool, pun intended. Not much here has changed. They did actually move these. So, okay, so I see. So instead of this popping, instead of what was happening before where you would select the actual temperature and a screen would pop up just for the one singular side. Now if I touch the center, the entire AC pops up here, and now you can select the temperature on both sides and sync on and off instead of it being separate. Now I guess I don't really know if this causes any issues, because I know that the driver's side and the passenger side were able to open their settings separately. Now the thing that's most important for somebody to be able to access is, of course, that, again, in the winter. So turning those on and off. This screen still, it's an okay screen. If you need to make any changes or if you want to do auto, you're still going to have to come here and hit auto. I do feel like this opens a little bit faster. I will say that in the past, when I would touch the temperature, the actual temperature, this would take maybe, hard to quantify it with a number, half of a second, but long enough to where the delay was noticeable. So if you're still looking to do auto, you know what, now I can't remember if the auto was here. I think the auto was already down here. Now if you want to do it, you do have to come in and hit the auto, which again, not a big deal. Oh boy. All right, stop. No, too much. The biggest deal was these two buttons being out here. I don't really see anything else that has changed. Everything else looks pretty much the same. You guys are probably wondering about Android Auto. Sorry to spoil it. It's pretty much not full screen, and I don't think it's going to be for a while. Let me plug this up and see. Although I doubt that it is. I do end up having a lot of trouble with my Android Auto even detecting the phone. That's actually my bigger issue. I can live with it for the most part, it not being full screen if it just worked when I asked it to. Like, this is actually a great example. I plugged up my phone. There we go, it actually did play. Hopefully this update helps with that. Here's your Android Auto. Still pretty much the same. Again, don't care about any of this stuff. I know that there's different options that you can get to help get full screen Android Auto or CarPlay. Of course, you would have to purchase separate items. I have one that this company sent me. I actually still do need to get back to them. It's a terrible product. Other products are a lot better. I believe Noble has one. There's a bunch of them that you can find. I don't know if I care that much to have it. We'll see as time goes on. Right now, for me, this is sufficient. This is fine. This is cool, but we'll see this use when winter comes. And of course, I mean, how much time was I really saving or losing on that? Anyway, I hope that this was informative. I hope that this helped. And I hope if you do tackle this at home by yourself, you were able to get these new buttons. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.